My mother once was a beautiful woman, until at the end of the day, I had to put a bullet through her brain. I never once thought seeing my mother's brain matter all over the white carpets and the white ceiling of our apartment would be a beautiful, lovely thing. Then again, she did try to bite my face off. And it all just so happened to start with a kiss. A couple days ago, my mother went out with her new boyfriend, Arnold. I didn't know why she wanted to date someone else. I really didn't care. In the meantime, I was sitting at my computer on MySpace just typing away to a friend. Until finally she came home and told me, "Honey, I'm going to go out for a little while. Are you sure you're okay alone?" I looked at her as if I wasn't a 16-year-old, typical teenager. I scoffed and I said, "Yes, ma'am, I'll be fine." She tilted her head at me and gave a scowl. "You don't have to give me that attitude, Andrew." I shrugged and I continued typing away at the computer. When she left, I didn't think in a couple of days I would have to pull a bullet through her brain. Nor did I care. I was blasting Nickelback, bouncing my head, singing along, and then my phone started vibrating. I picked it up and it was Mom saying that her boyfriend was sick and she was going to try to help him. I forgot to mention that my mother is also a registered nurse. Not like that really matters anymore. She said he was running a high fever, constantly scratching at his neck. She thought it might have been eczema with a typical cold, but something was different. His cough was phlegmy, very, very heavy, almost like somebody with bronchitis, and she didn't know what was going on. I said, "Okay, Mom, when will you be home?" There was a heavy sigh. "I don't know, but I'll try to be home as soon as I can. He doesn't look that well." I scoffed and I said, "Fine. Is there anything in the freezer for me to eat?" My mom went silent again, and then the line broke. I tried dialing her number back, but I couldn't get a hold of her. I started to slightly panic, regretting everything I had said to my mother that earlier evening. I kept dialing and dialing and dialing, scared, until finally she called me back. "Sorry, I went through a tunnel. I'm on the way to his place now." I sighed in relief. "Okay, just call me when you get there." I didn't hear back from her for another 2 days. When she got home, she had a single red mark on her neck. I couldn't decipher what it was, but her eyes were red, strained and dried looking. Her lips cracked and bloody, and underneath her nose was red like she'd been crying. I ran over to my mother's side, crying hysterically. Mom, are you okay?" She looked at me and coughed, almost like the same cough her boyfriend had had. She shrugged and said, "I think Andrew gave me what he had. But I'll be fine. I'll be going to the doctor's today." My mom didn't wake up when she went to take a nap. I shook her and shook her. There was a pile of vomit underneath her face. She was pale, sticky, her hair nearly falling out, now almost completely gray. I called 911. They were busy. At the base of her neck, where the red spot used to be, she had scratched and scratched and scratched and scratched, till the point she was bleeding and raw. I had looked at her fingertips. Even her nails had broken and cracked. I kept shaking her. Finally, she took a deep breath, and she looked at me. Her eyes were clouded over and gray. My heart shuddered. Mom? She sat up slowly and coughed one final time. Black, fungus, like something just spilt from her lips and onto her lap. "Get the gun." I couldn't hear, so I leaned in a little bit closer. "Get the gun," she croaked out. I took a step back and reached into the dresser drawer. "Mom, why do I need the gun?" She looked at me, her eyes tearing up, and it wasn't normal tears. They were red. My heart started skipping and skipping, beating harder, harder, faster, to the point my mouth went dry and my palms slick with sweat. "He gave me one final kiss before he died. Don't make me end up like him." Her voice was hoarse. She could hardly speak. Each time she spoke, blood-type spittle slipped from her mouth. She was once beautiful, delicate little flower. She had a full face, now completely sunken. She looked like a zombie, the undead, or somebody extremely sick. "If you don't do it, I will," she grumbled. My hands shook, my eyes filled with tears, and my throat started getting tighter. "Why? Why do I have to?" "Because I made the mistake of kissing him." She looked at me. I walked closer to my mother, and I placed the gun to her head with one bullet chambered. "I love you, Mommy." She looked at me and smiled. "Pull the damn trigger." When that moment ended, and her body laid flat on the bed, I've noticed something I never noticed before. She had a bite mark on her shoulder, something she did not tell me. And yet, I believe